stuff we're going to have running in the background today, because we're going to be talking about stuff. I was thinking, what was I going to play or show here in the background while I'm talking about stuff? And I figured, you know what? We got a bunch of clips from the past year that were made by me and various other people. And so what I did is I already had them. You know, I've been collecting clips for, all year, and from Twitch and stuff, and using them in various ways. Like sometimes I just use them here as exit points, or not intro. It's outro videos at the end of, if you stick around long enough, you get to see some of this stuff at the end of the stream after I'm done whatever I'm doing. And I just like cycle through, like, depending on how long they are, between 10 and 5 usually, at the end of the stream. And some of them are older than the past year and stuff, but some of them are, or a lot of them are just from the past year. And so that's what we're looking here now is basically clips that were all made this year. And again, they vary in length, usually no longer than a minute. Some of them might be, but most of them are only about a minute or more. Minute at most, and usually try to shoot for about 30 seconds or so. So again, some will be longer than others. So all were able to be walked away from the shirt. They were. In every crash that I was in this Microsoft simulator, flight simulator, everybody walked away in a stream. So that's why I have never seen them before. End of streams. Well, you have seen them. Well, some of them you've seen. If you've watched enough of the stream, you've seen some of these, because these are clips from streams. So the only problem is they're not labeled here on screen as what games they are. For example, this is Baldur's Gate 3. And we can actually listen to the song too. Just let me know if it's too loud, because some of this stuff you miss if you don't hear what's actually being said. But I've turned down the volume a little bit so it doesn't, compete with my voice too much. And this is from Celasta. Well, I just turned the sound back on. That's why. I had it muted, because I was thinking ahead. So, anyway, this is what we'll watch in the background. I'll turn the sound off once we get start talking about other stuff. So, still no sound? Well, it's not a game. Yeah, we're not getting sound. I screwed up. But it should be hearing it. You hear only my voice. See if this works.
Uh-oh. Elite 26. Just
Yay!
killed our little fried psycho troll friend right there in front of us.
There it is. Okay, yeah, I had the wrong setting.
Who got killed?
Some
Okay,
random
we're good.
troll.
So anyway,
Some random troll. Sounds like the internet.
you wouldn't believe how many different settings you have to take into account on some of this stuff. And it's stuff you don't tweak with a lot. Like, I don't play with the stream settings very often. They're there. I know they work. But when you add new stuff, you got to remember, you got to do this too, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. It's so, yeah.
No focus.
Many gimpies talking at once, as it
Much
should be.
damage you can do it. Do it.
Relax.
You got this, Gimpy. You got it. You got it.
52.
You got this.
Oh, this is
61. If I
what, For the King 2?
chance.
It's For the King 2. Some games take you back. So, see. So I guess we start with talk. Since we're watching this, let me turn this volume off on this one for now. So, while we're doing this, we'll start with the games that I played last year, right? And if you'd like to see the list of all the games, this is basically, I think this is pretty much the list of every game I played last year. And you can find it over on my website. That's not it. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, I have a website. It's been up there all year. I don't talk about it too much, but it's there. But anyway, if you want to see the list of games that I played this past year, just go there and then click on the games played in 2024. And it'll show you a nice little list. I can put it up on screen too if I need to, so you can see actually see what I'm talking about if you don't want to go over there. So that's the actual file I'm using. And actually you can see the website address too at the top, but it's going to disappear as soon as I start scrolling away. So anyway, games I played. I don't want to go through every game, obviously, unless people want to talk about a specific game, because some games are new, some are, games that I've been playing for quite a while. The total list is 46. I played 46 games this year. And possibly I might have missed one or two. And the reason I know it's these games is because I actually keep a log of every time I do a stream. I track the date, the stream title, the tweet that I put out related to the stream over on Twitter, aka X, and any other notes that I have for that particular day. So this morning, because I did not plan on doing this originally, today we're only going to be talking about what games are coming out tomorrow, or starting, not tomorrow, next year for 2025. And so, but that'll be a different thing on the screen here in a little bit. But this morning I went, I should probably we're going to be talking about these games anyway, right? So I should probably go through and see what games I actually played in the past year. Not thinking very far ahead there, thinking how many games it was going to be and I forget how many, I stream every day. So basically I have an entry for every day. Except even for the stream, even for the days that I don't stream, I still have an entry, right? Because I have couple of last week or for Christmas Day, I have the date. It's 12/25/24, no stream. that's the note, right? Because I keep track of when I stream, when I don't stream, or I end to stream early, that kind of stuff. You are in the list. You're actually the only person that's named in the list, and there's a reason for that. Mainly because in my notes, this is what it says. Is it says Total War Three Kingdoms of Khadgar. When I do a lot of other multiplayer stuff like Solasta and 7 Days to Die, but in my entries, it just says Solasta or 7 Days to Die because I know I'm doing multiplayer on those days. But in this case, the Three Kingdoms it was a special thing because it's not a game that I play terribly often, and we didn't play very much because somebody went out and got a job, and so and I put that, I didn't have to do that, but it caught my attention because it's the only stream title with somebody else's name in it. So I figured I should probably include that anyway because it's a special occurrence. Oh, not this scene? Well, you want to hear this one? I do.
I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further. Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Trash.
At least we missed most of it.
Oh, this is not good.
So anyway. Yeah, so it's hardly ideal. Welcome back, Skybird.
Jump off here.
Did I say welcome back to the Spirit? Or I think I
Play
did.
it safe.
Got a job. What a loser. He could have been playing games for all day. I know. So anyway, as we're looking through the games, the list of the games, is there...
That was
like I said, there's 46 of them, or whatever it happens, because it's actually two top lines don't count. So yeah, there's 46 games that I played this year.
that worked really
It's quite a few. Quite a few. There's some shockers in here that, and by not shockers that I actually played them, but when I was going through my log, is games that stood out to me and how many entries they had, more than I thought there were Dominion 6. I didn't realize how early I had started playing this, because if you're actually looking at this list, this is pretty much in order of the games that I started playing, because that's how I collected this. I started at the January 1st and just went through the whole year. So from top to bottom is basically, through the year. And like I say, Warhammer Rogue Trader was, I think, either on the first of the year or may have been the second. I don't know, somewhere around there. And so, but again, this is pretty much in order of how it was things were played, except for World of Warcraft stuff that was spread out through the entire year because started playing with Season of Discovery, which is actually really early in like January. I also played Cataclysm and Dragonflight and The War Within. War Within is the new mod or the new expansion, that kind of thing. And then Celeste multiplayer is early in there, of course, because we played every week, or we're playing it every week until we switched over to Baldur's Gate 3, which lasted a while, and then we got back to Solasta and that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah. Next year's goal, at least 65 games? No, that's not going to happen. If anything, it's going to be cut down a lot because I'm thinking of changing, and this is something I've been kicking around a long time now, is specifically half the year at least. 'Cause there's actually, you can see when I'm going through my log, you can see I came with this idea that I need to start playing the same games more often instead of playing more games. I need to play the same games more often, and there's a definite change in the schedule as we get later into the year. Even though we still have all these other games down here, there's a lot of one-offs. So, and what I mean by one-offs, I mean games that I only play once for various reasons. But then there's others that I actually completed, like Starcom Unknown Space, and then what was the other one? Scald. I actually finished. Those are actually two games I actually finished this year, which is very rare for me to do. But then there's a lot of stuff in here that are, like I said, one-offs. And why are they one-offs? For various reasons. Some of it's just not enough time. Others were, they didn't really pull me in. So, when is the next leap year? 4 years away. 28. 28. This was a leap year. Dominion 6 was very. This is what I was getting around to, is games that really surprised me and how many times I played them. Hey, Fred, welcome back. Dominion 6 saw. I was surprised how often. I didn't realize I was playing this so often. But then I started looking at the schedule, and what I had done was I put it in on Sundays after I stopped, because I was doing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, the DLC one, for the second half of the stream on Sundays. And I had run out of material for the first half of the stream, because it was, at the beginning of the year, it was Wrath of the Righteous campaign stuff for the first half of the stream on Sundays, and then I switched over to the DLC for the second half. Well, when I finished the campaign this year, the fourth one, I ran out of... I had to switch to something, and it just so happens that Dominion 6 came out roughly that same time as when I finished the campaign. And so it took that slot. So it was on every Sunday for quite a while. So that's why Dominion 6 is a kind of a surprise, but it's in the log a lot. And actually, I went through, did I? I'm looking at my Steam list of games, and Dominion 6, how many hours am I up in that thing now? Yeah, Dominion 6 just this year, 171 hours, because it came out this year. So I had 171 years at basically 4-hour chunk, 4-hour chunks for the most part. So it took up a lot of space in the log. So, which isn't bad, because I actually do enjoy the game. And the reason I stopped playing it was because, why did I stop playing it? Because I think we needed to make space for some other stuff on Sundays. At the back, a few months back, more than a few months back, I think I was doing. I'd have to go back and look exactly, but we needed more space for playing other games like Starcom and Scald. They needed some space, and we had to shuffle some stuff around, that kind of thing. So anyway, there's that. And Master Magic is in there a lot because I played that like every Monday. I was surprised to see Star Sector in here so early. Because, again, you got to remember the top of the list, that means earlier in the year. I don't remember playing this last year so early. I know I played it a few months back for 1 or 2 days or that kind of thing. But I played it a couple of times back in the beginning of the year. Empyrean, I played really early in the year, too. And I don't remember... I remembered playing it, but I don't remember why. Other than maybe it was I was in a mood to play it. No idea. Space Haven's in there once or twice because they came out with an update, 1 or 2 updates last year or this year. So we played that a couple of times. Shogun. I don't know why. I don't know why I did Total War Shogun 2. I don't know why. I don't know how this got into the list, but it did. Because I think, did they give it out for free this year? Maybe that's what it was. Or something part of Shogun 2 was, I think, was like free in the first half of the year. But I'm trying to remember what it was, and I can't remember. But I played that for about a few weeks, I think. I know I did 3 or 4 streams of it at least. And I enjoyed it. And what's actually shocking, what's not on this list, is Total War Warhammer. I didn't play that at all. This shocked me. Going through the list, Total War Warhammer series, I didn't play it once, all in 2024.
They're not attacking.
Why? I don't know. I just didn't, and I don't know why.
What the hell?
So, but again, that was that one. So we had that. I'm guessing and I thought Total War Pharaoh came out in 2024, but it turns out it came out at the end of 2023 because I was going through my logs like, how come I don't see Pharaoh in here? I could have swore I played that, but I played it in 2023 and it didn't. That's when it came out. So got that. And of course we did Total War 3 Kingdoms with Katger because he saw me playing Shogun 2, and then Katger went out and bought the 3 Kingdoms stuff and gave it to me as a present, right? So that's why we did the Katger stuff there with 3 Kingdoms. 3 Kingdoms is a good game. Like it's fine. Why? But I haven't really gone back to it for reasons. I mean, yeah, I appreciate that, Katger. I thank you very much for that. So, Sons of Valhalla, that was a little 2D side-scroller type deal. X4. This had 2 batches in it. Because we started playing, I put a lot of time into this at the beginning, in the first half of the year, and then
that does not go very far.
Took a step back from that and started a new run. And as I started the new run, then the news came out that they were going to put out a new update for the mod, so I took a break off from that until it was ready. Then the mod was ready. Started playing that for a couple of times, and then came out that the devs were putting out a new update for X4, which was going to the mod makers for the Star Wars mod makers wanted to make sure it worked for that, and they're still working on it. So that's why I haven't played that lately. So, Age of Wonders 3, this is and BattleTech. These were played at the same time, as in because there's a turn-based festival in the middle of the year roughly. And because I do a lot of turn-based stuff, I have a relationship with the turn-based games people. It's a community on Steam and outside of Steam and that kind of stuff. I have had relationships with them over the years. Not devs, but actual players and stuff. And this is a player festival that happens roughly in the middle of the year. All turn-based games. And because I'm somewhat of a known streamer, not really, I'm part of it. And the way it works is, you volunteer to participate as a streamer or a YouTuber, that kind of thing. And they give you a list of games that you can choose from. And then you get to pick a time slot and when you're going to do it, basically an hour-long time slot. And for me, I always mess it up. I mean, you don't have to play 2 different games if you get multiple time slots. Like I was able to grab 2 time slots on the same day. And I didn't really of the list of games they gave us. None of the new stuff really appealed to me, but BattleTech and Age of Wonders 3 was on there, and I go, I've never streamed Age of Wonders 3. At least I don't think so. And I used to stream a little bit of BattleTech, so why not grab those 2 and put them on the same day? So that's why they're actually in the list. Because normally these got Age of Wonders 3 and BattleTech should not be on this list, but because of the turn-based festival thing, that's why they're there. Apparently, I played RimWorld once or twice. Mandalore, I played quite a bit. Still waiting for more updates there. They've been actually updated it since last time I played, but I haven't played it in a while. Transport Fever did that for a day. Just Transport Fever 2. Why did I stream that? I think because I picked it up for free somewhere. That's why I played that. Dream Engine, we did that once. King Arthur, Legion, the Ninth Legion. We actually played that for quite a bit, and eventually got burned out of it because I was reminded of the flaws of the game. Because it's actually kind of like an expansion to King Arthur, which was a game that came out a couple years back now. So, which had flaws to it, and the Ninth Legion has the same flaws. It's a better story, I think, but the actual gameplay flaws to it started shining themselves after a couple of sessions when I can't do this anymore. Oh, we're still listening to the videos, aren't we? Would a Seagull game be turn-based? Of course it would be. Don't ask silly questions. Field of Glory Kingdom spent a lot of time in this game. I probably played it. This game, I don't know why. I have issues with the game. There's so many issues with this game, but for some reason I kept playing it. And when I mean kept playing it, I don't mean for like a month or so. I mean, I played it for months, every Monday or something like that. For months I played this, and I still don't know why. Because it's got flaws. It's not a perfect game, but I still enjoyed playing it for some reason. Of course, Scald, that's one of the games we finished this year, which is a nice retro RPG. I used to play Kingdom 1's Deliverance 1. Why would I want to do that when 2 is going to be coming out relatively soon? Conquering Europe as Ireland was awesome. When you talked about it, wasn't funny. It was awesome. Buying off, I had more than half of England bought. I had like 3/4 of England bought by the time we finished that. Yes, and Skybird's rent has never made it to me yet. He actually owes me 2 sets of rent, by the way. Because after I finished the Ireland run, I started a Norway run. And somehow we ended up with the southern part of England as belonging to me through marriage. And there's a mechanic in that game where if you have you marry off your daughters to various nobles, and if the right person dies, you actually get the territory for that land, for that country. And when I was playing Norway, very early in the game, well, apparently when the scenario starts, Norway has a marriage with England. And very early in my run, the right person died in England, and I ended up with the southern half of England. Skybird owes me more rent now. He owes me rent for 2 games.
Oh, this is right next to our house.
So I'm ready for 2. But I don't want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I'm not even sure I want to play 2. I've never played. I've had Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 for, I'm going to go with a few years, because it was free, I think, over on Epic a few years ago. I have it. I've had it for a long time. I've never installed it. Why? I don't know if I actually really want to play it, to tell you the truth. I honestly don't know. Yeah, it's just, I see Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I went, okay, why would I want to play this? I mean, the combat looks overly complicated. I mean, I guess it could be a learning experience, but I don't feel like I'm learning. I don't really want to learn that. So, yeah, as Vukro says, its system is rather cumbersome. And every time I watch videos of it, I went, that looks way more difficult than it needs to be.
So, I'm going to take my break a couple minutes early. Going to get up, stretch my legs, get some water.
Good like it, kind of like Mountain Blade. But it's not. That's the thing. It's not like Mountain Blade. It's an RPG. That's the thing. If anything, it's closer to Skyrim than it is Mountain Blade. In all honesty, it's like Skyrim without magic and dragons. In a more complicated combat system. So, again, I'm not really inspired to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm just not. That's why I haven't played it. Because what I've seen of it does not appeal. That's it. Anyway, where else are we? Norland, this is a new game. You start playing that. Waiting for more updates on that. USC Connor Force. This was a huge disappointment after playing it. They advertised it as being a really complicated game and blah, blah, blah. It's hardcore. Yeah, that's an understatement. It's ridiculously more complex than it needs to be. And it's not fun. Just want to point that out. It's not fun. but you need to play Manhunter
Good. Am I?
High Times. That would be
Am I
John.
that
So,
good?
no, that's not going to happen either. Hey, Hurricane, welcome back. Yes, this is the 2024 list of all the games I played. U-Boat. U-Boat was a very mixed bag for me. I like the concept of
Where'd that
U-Boat.
come from?
Why did I stop playing it?
Where did
Because
it
I
come
wasn't
from?
really enjoying it, to be honest.
Did it come
I
from-
really just didn't enjoy it. It's not that it's a bad game. It just I just didn't enjoy it.
You want me to leave it?
No, you should probably.
And Shrouded to
put it
play
on
that
next
for a
turn,
whole
but
day.
at least,
7 Days to Die. Oh, 7 Days to Die has been a nice little gem for me because it's not my favorite first-person survival game. Empyrean still holds that one,
What happened there?
but 7 Days to Die is fun in a different reason because
You
it's
said let it
I like zombie
didn't know that
survival
was gonna
games. I know certain people don't.
I'm covered in
Man
blood.
eater, not hunter. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the game you swim around as a shark and eat people.
I didn't know that.
Anyway,
would happen.
7 Days to Die.
The colors
Apparently
all-
mute this. The voices are too many voices there screwing with me. Anyway, 7 Days to Die. This again, a first-person shooter, zombie apocalypse. For some reason, I'm really enjoying it, but I'm not surprised because, like I said, I like zombie survival games. And the thing is, my next goal after we get burned out on 7 Days to Die, and by we I mean Jeff and Ragstone, I need to. Jeff might probably go for this one. I'm not sure about Rag, but we need to play some Project Zomboid. I know I played that with Jeff before, and who else? It was Jeff, and I think it was Creeks. Is it Creeks or is it somebody else? I forget. But we played Project Zomboid for a while last year. Not 2024, but 2023, I think it was. Played a bunch of that. And the main difference between Project Zomboid and 7 Days to Die is perspective. 7 Days to Die is a first-person, game. Project Zomboid is a third-person. But it's basically the same general idea. It's zombie survival. You got to, grow food, scavenge, try not to die, that kind of thing. It's a great game. I actually like it better than 7 Days to Die, mainly because of the sneakiness that's necessary. That's not really a thing in 7 Days to Die, because in Project Zomboid, if you're not sneaky, as in you don't kill your zombies quietly, if you use guns and stuff, it attracts more zombies. In 7 Days to Die, that doesn't really happen. So, and again, but we can go over a list of that stuff later. But anyway, 7 Days to Die, really enjoying that, and we're still playing that on Wednesdays, which is, tomorrow. So, still not wanting to solve the zombies with the orbital bombardment option. Well, because there's people that live down there, Vukos. Hey, Rex, don't welcome back. It's a lot of fun co-op. Yeah, 7 Days to Die is fun. There's a lot of action in there. We've got a number of clips here in the background you might be noticing as well when they pop up and stuff. It's a fun game. It really is. Don't get a lot of views from it, but that's probably because it's been out for so long, and it's just not for everybody. But it's for me, and it's working. So I want you to do Zomboid now. It has co-op. Oh, it's had co-op for a while. Project Zomboid's had co-op for years. It's been crappy in the past, but the last time we played it, like I said, back in 2023, I think is when we played it, maybe 2022. It was fine. They never had any real issues with the co-op in Zomboid, but they've made a lot of additions to it since the last time we played. Zombie survival games. You thought that the idea was that the zombies didn't survive. Oh, they survive. It's that you don't survive. They survive by eating you. So anyway, we also made a return to MechWarrior Online for more than one day throughout the year. Actually, near the end of the year here, I started playing it on a regular basis until MechWarrior 5 came out, or MechWarrior 5 Clans, which you see just below there. So that came out this year. I might go back a little bit more to MechWarrior Online 2, maybe. I don't know. MechWarrior Online is a game that I have to take in small doses. Even when I was playing it, I was only do half streams, like 3 hours or so, maybe 4 at most, because that's about the dosage I can handle with playing that game. But it was a nice, like I said, it's a nice half stream thing, because I think what I was doing, I was playing MechWarrior Online for the early half of the stream and World of Warcraft for the second. I think that's what I was doing. Might go back to that a little bit more this coming year. Hey, Bone, welcome back. A few old timers showed up. Yep. is double XP and C bills today. Yeah, two things I don't need. So that's the funny thing is MechWarrior Online, people are still playing on a regular basis, and for those of you who don't know, my whole streaming career started because of MechWarrior Online, and I streamed that game exclusively for 4 years or so, and and grew the audience a little bit there, and some of the original people are still around, like Bone Dog and Jeff and Hobo, and maybe some others are still here. But I started playing it again this year, near the end of within back in October, September, somewhere on there. I started playing it on a somewhat regular basis, half streams, like I was just saying, and it's fine. But there's they entice you because they have little events and stuff. It's like, oh, double C bills or double experience, and I just go, yeah, whatever. Because I have so much time in the game. I don't need C bills. I don't need more experience. So there's nothing that they can really do to entice me to come back. New mechs, maybe, but not really, because I have so many mechs I don't have. It's one of those things where there's so many mechs in MechWarrior Online already, and I have the vast majority of them. And every time I play, Darren or Bombadil from PGI, he usually finds a way to pop into the stream. He goes, "Hey, do you have these mechs?" I go, "No." And he goes, "You do now." And that's how I get them. It's not that I ask for them; they just get handed to me, and I really don't need them. So, anyway, so there's that. Let's see what else. StarCom Unknown Space. That's the other game I played this year and actually finished. I really enjoyed StarCom, and I really enjoyed Scald, which is right up here. I think these are probably the first two games that I've actually played on the stream from start to finish and actually finished. That weren't like, say, Pathfinder or Baldur's Gate or Solasta, right? These are, they're two indie games, not super popular, but again, I played both of them from start to finish. And I really enjoyed both of them, even though they're very distinctly different. Citadellum. This is a ancient Rome city builder or city management game. When I first started playing it, it was fun. I enjoyed it because it's very nostalgic for me. Because if you've ever played, was it Rome or Caesar? No, Caesar. The Caesar series from back in the 90s, which is very well done. And Citadellum is kind of like a 3D version of it. And I really enjoyed it. But then the more I played it, I went, shit, there's definitely a formula here, and this is the way you win. If you don't follow the formula, you're not going to win. It's like, I was hoping for something a little bit more flexible, but yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just that, with the colony management stuff or city management stuff, if you follow a formula, it's a guaranteed win. If you don't, you're going to lose. And unfortunately, that game falls in that series, or falls in that area. MechWarrior 5 Clans. I want to say this was a disappointment, but it was exactly what I expected it to be. So it wasn't disappointing because it was what I expected. It's not a bad game. It's not a great game. The only thing I can say was disappointing. I thought it was too short. And there was no real branching storylines, but coming back to the whole, I knew what it was going to be, and it wasn't disappointing in that spec, other than knowing what it was going to be was disappointing in the first place, because I knew it was going to be a linear storyline because they were doing canon stuff in the BattleTech universe. That means there's going to be no real breaking off from that storyline, because that's what they chose to do, and they did it. And it's not bad, it's just that it's not great. And we'll see what they can do with the stuff later on. I mean, it's definitely open for more stuff, and DLCs coming, more than likely. I don't have any information other than that. We know the DLCs will be coming out. We just don't know when. And what they're actually going to be encompassing, we don't know. Fluke, thank you very much for the 10 consecutive streams watched. Much appreciated, and Happy New Year. He popped in late. We'll have to watch the VOD. You're not really missing that much. We're just talking about the games that I played in the past year or so. And this was kind of shocking. This showed up so late in the year. No, it didn't. This actually showed up earlier in the year too. I didn't put it in the list until farther down. But the Bannerlord stuff, it actually did show up once or twice up in the early part of the year, but I didn't enter it until here for some reason. Mainly because I've been playing it so much lately. But again, Bannerlord with the Old Realms mod, which is a Warhammer Fantasy mod, really enjoying that. Been playing this been trying to play it on Mondays. I'm going to try to continue that too going into the new year. The mod is really well done. I hope they're working on more stuff because I would love to see dwarves in there. What else is missing in the part of the world that we're in? We got a bunch of different Empire factions. Got Bretonia. We got the Wood Elves. We got the vampires. No dwarves. No greenskins either. There's no greenskins, which would be, I'm guessing those would require a little bit more work. But I really like to see the dwarves and the greenskins in there. And what else would be noticeable or notable in that area of the world? Skaven. If they can pull off Skaven, that would be probably pretty cool. But the amount of work there would be even crazy, even much more crazier than what the greenskins require. Chaos Dragons Nagash and that part of the world. We don't need dragons. I don't need dragons. Nagash. You mean Tomb Kings? See, I don't have the game loaded right now, so I could show you the actual map of the world because it doesn't go far enough into where we'd run into Tomb Kings to the south. And going north is a Chaos Waste, so they could add more chaos into it, or the Norskins. Kislev could be added as well. Who else is up in that area? And then what is it? The Chinese one, the one to the east. The map doesn't go that far. It's basically just Empire, Bretonia, Kislev, and a bit of mountains. Right. But as far as factions that actually exist in that part of the world, dwarves, Skavens, Kislev, Norskins, and Greenskins. I don't think there's any Tomb Kings in that area. I don't think there are. So, anyway, Old Realms mod for Bannerlord, very well done. Much better than it was when they put a lot of work into it. The mod makers have done a great job with it, and it's much more stable than it was, last year before this new update came out. Because I've been playing it off and on since it came out a couple of years back, and it's always been very unstable for me. But now with whatever they've done, it's much more stable. I mean, it still has little bugs here and there but everything does. But it's much better than it was, and hopefully it's getting better, and hopefully they add some new stuff to it too. Doesn't even reach the Border Prince's territory. No, well, that's what I was saying. I'm just trying to figure out what other factions could they add to the mod with the map that they currently have. And like I said, I'd love to see the dwarves, and greenskins would be nice to see in there too, maybe. And then Skaven. If they could pull off Skaven, that would be kind of cool because they've got some places they could pop up in that map. So anyway, that is Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord Old Realms mod. Scramble. Oh, this is actually kind of a cool game. This is made by Slytherin, or at least it's produced by Slytherin. I forget the name actually of the dev, but I think it's the same dev who does or did Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, because it's very similar. It's basically just a second, phone call. Okay, I'm back. So, hey, Beacon, welcome back. Thank you for the 5 consecutive streams watched. Happy New Year. I've seen Scout. We can end the stream now. No, that's okay. Anyway, I was talking Scramble Battle of Britain. This is a turn-based synchronous aerial combat game. Takes place in World War II, over basically the battle for Britain, and it's still in development. We played it for one stream a couple months back now, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, simply because it's based on real life physics and stuff, so you don't have any real crazy maneuvers being done by planes and stuff, or at least they're done within realism for the most part. And if you do crazier stuff, you're basically putting your pilots at risk, and it's kind of a cool game. Looking forward to seeing more of it, and we'll see. And then Distant Worlds 2. I know a lot of people wanted me to play this over the last couple of years because I know the game's been out, but earlier this year, Slytherin came to me and said, hey, do you want codes for Distant Worlds 2? Because we have a new DLC coming out, and we'd like you to help promote it. I went, sure. I said, I've had my eye on this game for a couple of years now. I haven't really dug into it, mainly because of the cost and that kind of stuff. But anyway, Slytherin, thank you for the codes. Played it for, a few streams? How many streams did I put in? 5 or 6, maybe, at most? Not even that many, I don't think. Probably did 4, maybe 5 at most. Why? Distant Worlds 2 is odd for me. It didn't pull me in the way I thought it would. If anything, what it did is it made me think I need to play more Master Orion 2. It's actually, even though they're very different games in the fact that Distant Worlds 2 is closer to Stellaris, and that's real time with pausability, just like Stellaris is. But it pushed me away more than it pulled me in. And that's just because some of the mechanics, it's not that it's difficult so much. It's that there's a lot to learn. A lot of it can be automated, but there's some really annoying aspects of it. And it's just, I don't know. There's just so many, it just didn't pull me in. Like I know some people love it and they say, well, it's great, you should play it, whatever. And it's an okay game for me. I can't say it's good or great or it's bad or it sucks. It's right there in the middle, and it just doesn't pull me in. It's that simple. It just doesn't. And it just, I don't know. There's just aspects of it that just don't, like the way pirates are done in that game are just annoy the hell out of me. It just, I guess some people might like it, but it annoyed the hell out of me how pirates are handled. And because, whatever, am I going to ever play it again? Possibly, maybe, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Again, I said it never really pulled me in. I put in 20, 30 hours into it. And if you don't have me after 20 hours, I think that's more than fair. My normal thing is if you don't have me after 20 minutes, there's a good chance I'm never playing you again. I give this game easily 20, 30 hours, and nah, I don't think I'm going back to it. Mu 2 is a timeless classic, right? And that's why the Distant Worlds 2 was pushing me towards Mu 2. The more I played, I was thinking more about Master Orion 2 than I was about this game, because they share a lot of similar elements, like customizing your ships on how they're built and where their weapons are placed and this kind of stuff. And their ships have, because it's on 3D space, they have, well, sort of 3D. It's not really 3D space, it's 2D. But they have firing angles for the weapons based on where they're placed on the ship, similar to Master Orion 2. Master Orion 2, I think, handles it better, but mainly because in Distant Worlds 2, the hard points are fixed, as in, they're meant for a specific size of weapons because they have small and medium-sized weapons and larges and that kind of stuff. So you can't put a large weapon on a small hard point, which makes sense. But the problem is those firing angles are fixed. So if that firing angle for that particular hard point is 180 degrees, that's all it is. At least in Master Orion 2, if I remember correctly, it's been a few years since I've really played it, you can actually have different firing angles, like you have forward facing, side and rear, and 360, right? You can make that, any weapon have that thing, but it costs you a little more points to do it. We're building the ship, but it's there. Distant Worlds 2, it's not, at least that I've seen. keeping in mind I didn't get through the whole tech tree and whatever, so maybe there is something later on in different ship classes and whatever. But as far as what I saw, there wasn't. So to me, Master Orion 2 is still, better. So one of these days I should play it again. Arcs Plus weapon and ship mods 2 was great. Yep. That's why there's a reason why it's a classic. Hey, Ring, welcome back. Happy New Year. Okay, so next, bottom of the list. Star Wars The Old Republic. Started playing this again. I have played this off and on over the years. But it looks like we're going to be playing on a regular basis for the foreseeable future, mainly because it took the Saturday slot from World of Warcraft Season of Discovery, which we'd been playing for, believe it or not, a year. As of last month. So I think it was last month. Was it last month? I think it was. Anyway, for those of you who missed it, World of Warcraft Season of Discovery came out about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And I'd been playing that on a regular basis ever since. So, or at least tried to. I mean, we went some blank spots here and there, but we started playing on Saturdays on a regular basis earlier this year. Who was that? That was Hurricane, Rackstone, and Aeolus. And we had a fifth member. We won't mention who, but they went out and got a job. So they had to leave us, and there was just the four of us. And so we did that, and it was fun. And we basically got as far as we could earlier this year. And decided, okay, we're going to play next. And we spent basically a good, hour or two looking at different games and what would everybody be willing to play, that kind of thing. And eventually we made up our minds on doing Star Wars The Old Republic, another MMO, lots of content to go through for a lot of us. And Aeolus checked into it and stuff and said it really wasn't for him. But Hurricane and Rackstone were good with it. So it's just three of us right now. We still have room for a fourth, which we're hoping might be Soul Slicer if he can get, but his schedule is kind of sketchy too sometimes. And then we had K's 2002. He joined us, I think it was last Saturday. He was with us all day. He's been here off and on too. So we might have a fourth person, floating in and out for Saturdays, but we'll see. I also want to start playing it during the week too. Because I do have I've been playing The Old Republic since it came out back in 2012 or 2010, whatever year it was. And I still have other characters to finish storylines and that kind of thing. So expect to see a lot more Star Wars. Well, maybe not a lot more, but more Star Wars The Old Republic going forward, specifically on Friday or Saturdays with Rackstone and Hurricane and again, possibly a fourth person. And then during the week, I'll be playing some other characters that aren't related to the characters we're doing on Saturdays. So, Catger, your schedule sucks. Your work hates it when you have free on. Of course they do. Jobs suck. Okay, and then the last game, last of the new games, and new in quotes, and my schedule or my log was Sea Power, Naval Combat in the Middle Age. If you missed this is basically a I would just say it's like homage to the game Harpoon back in the late 80s. Do we hear Rocket? He's not happy. He just realized Mrs. Gimpy left. But I played this the other week, and Sea Power, it's a fun enough game. There's a lot to learn. It takes place basically back in the 1980s, at least the technology goes, and it's still in development. It's still an early access game. It's been out for a little while, but I didn't notice this until the end of the stream when I was doing it. It's missing a very key part that really needs to be in the game, and that is save. There's no way to save a game. You play they're all, scenarios, right? You played the scenario, and these aren't short scenarios. Even the shorter ones, I guess you could speed them up through time compression and whatever, but I don't play games like that. Even if they need them, I usually avoid time compression over a certain rate because it's annoying, because bad things can happen really quickly when you do the high speed stuff. So I usually don't go too far into time compression, and it's one of those games that kind of needs it in some spots, but it's okay. And I also found out why we don't do time compression a lot in Sea Power, because we had an issue with the ship keep running. I told it to go here, right? And between here and there was this island. And the ship went, there's no island there. Boom. Right into the island. So, there's a problem with that. But again, game's still in development, that kind of stuff. But it looks like it's got some potential. It was, when I played it, it was kind of fun. And so I'll probably be playing again sometime in the near future. I just don't have a plan on when. And hopefully when they get a few more updates into it, making the ships a little bit smarter, that kind of stuff. Bone Dog, back when Lord of the Rings Online was new, there was an option to pay for a lifetime sub. Did it? Haven't played it since. Yeah, I saw that as an option too when that first came out. Because Lord of the Rings 2 came out, a couple of years after? I think it was 4 or 5 years after WoW. And it was basically a WoW clone with the Lord of the Rings skin on it. And I remember participating in the beta, and I remember seeing that lifetime sub, and I went, oh, that is so tempting. Luckily, I said no. I mean, it's not that Lord of the Rings Online is a bad game. It's just that I never actually played it past beta. Well, I did, but not until 10 years later, because, what was it? Mrs. Gimpy and I were looking for a game to play together. And we had played EverQuest together, and we had played some World of Warcraft together, and she didn't want to play either one of those. I go, well, there is a Lord of the Rings game. And she goes, really? And she likes Lord of the Rings. She doesn't know, she's never read a book, but she's seen the movies. And so this was an educational opportunity for me. And so let's try it out, see what you think, and go from there. So we play it for a little while, and we get subs going and that kind of stuff. And next thing I know, she's playing the game all the time. I mean, if I was streaming, she was playing it. And it didn't matter and we actually did, I think, Lord of the Rings Online with Mrs. Gimpy on Fridays a few years back, before we started doing the Solasta stuff. We used to do that, and it was fun. But I could keep up with her because she was playing every day, and I was only playing it like once or twice a week. And so she ended up with all these high level characters, and I'm going, hey, you forgot somebody. And so that became, it wasn't a real issue, but basically what happened is she burned out. She burned out playing that game. So, it's a thing. But anyway, so, since you played it with Mrs. Gimpy on stream, that's why you mentioned Lord of the Rings Online. Oh, yeah. Your group might like hopping in Lord of the Rings Online. They might, but I don't know. I'd have to talk to. Well, we've got something right now. I mean, all the people games I'm playing with other people, we're pretty set with our schedules at the moment. I don't think we can squeeze in another MMO. I mean, maybe if we get burned out on the Old Republic, we might move over to Lord of the Rings Online. But I wouldn't count on that one. Just based on what I know about these people so far. I mean, they might. I don't know. But again, that's a discussion, because I'm pretty sure we discussed Lord of the Rings Online when we were looking for games to play on Saturdays, and there wasn't a lot of oh yeah, we need to play that, or yeah, sure. It didn't really pull anybody in. So maybe sometime in the future, I don't know. But there's a lot of content there. Lord of the Rings Online's got a lot of content, because again, it's, like I said, it only came out a couple years after World of Warcraft, so they're well over 10 years. I think they're up to 15 years or something like that of content that they've got in. There's a lot of stuff, and it's done well enough. They've upgraded the graphics and stuff over the years, not by a lot, but they've done some upgrades there. Skybird, where it is now after the Lord of the Rings, Soren snuffed at. Yes, they've. For those who aren't familiar with Lord of the Rings Online, it basically follows the story of the Lord of the Rings. You start off, and basically a big portion of the game is you're basically one step behind the Fellowship of the Ring. So when you start off the game, You know, you start off just learning this stuff, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, there's a story going on here. Oh, we're supposed to follow these little campsites or go from point A to point B, that stuff. And every time you get there, it's like, oh, somebody's been here. Or, and then you get contacted by Elrond and you talk to him and he goes, oh, we need you to do this and do this. And basically they put you, you know, just like a step behind the storyline for the books, which is done well enough. But now they've gotten to the point where there's no more material in the books. So they're making stuff up as they go. And I haven't really played it since they started doing that. You can play one subscription. Quit long enough for it to go free to play. Log back into your character, and he was in a premium area. I couldn't mess with him unless I'd sub, so he's still on that side of the mountain looking at a waterfall. I didn't realize that they had sub areas. Oh, maybe you're in the housing area. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know if you can have housing without a sub. I never really looked into the housing for Lord of the Rings Online, so I don't remember how that was done. But anyway.
Hello, Gimpy. It is time to take a break.
How's that for timing?
Go check on the dogs.
That was unintentional.
This break supports the purchase of Rocket's treats. If you would like to help Rocket feel like a puppy again, please visit gimpyknee.com/support or type !treats in chat. Thank you. Your next break is in 1 hour.
T10 Bravo, welcome to the stream. If you don't log in and pay your rent, then you get kicked out of the house or the guild house. Okay. Anyway, I do need to take a break. So, but anyway, if you guys want to continue about the games I played in this past year, you can check out the whole list. I know it's up on the screen right now, but if you actually want to see the whole list, because the whole list is not actually on the screen, you can head on over there to my website. Just click on the games played in 2024. And if you want to talk about anything, just pick something out and we can talk about it when we get back from break. If not, we will move on to games that are coming out next year because we've got a list from PC Gamer. PC Gamer put out a list for games that are coming out next year, and that's what we're going to be looking at next. So, anyway, that's that. Gonna go take a break. Be back shortly. Get up, stretch some legs, get some water. Be back in a few. And we'll continue on. So, thanks for watching. Be back shortly. Enjoy the dog video. I'm guessing
we break the script.
I think we broke the script.
They're like, they're fighting us, but you can't do that.